Today we're going to do a 3-minute rounds, mixed of different things. We're starting from full guard, starting from half guard, side control, taking the back, starting from mount, these different things. But it's concentrated, the emphasis is on the ground and pound scenario, as well as the grappling obviously, but getting used to some of the amateur teams that try and throw strikes while they go through the transitioning on the floor. So it's a good sesh, really good hard sesh, there'll be plenty of rounds today. And yeah, looking forward to it. Smash it.
Are we ready? 3. Wolf, move down to the corner of the mat so the smell don't drift over here. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, you know, it's such a high level, you know, gym, in particularly in Wales. You know, of course, I'm quite biased. I think it's one of the best gyms for the lighter weight guys in the UK. Great coaches as well. We're very lucky to have 2 massive coaches, which are not only like coaches to us, they are sort of father figures to most of the fighters in the gym, you know. And Sheikh and Carl have been a fantastic team for me for the last, well, nearly 4 years now. And yeah, it's amazing, the high level fighters, you know, you've got Jack Shaw on the mat every day, newly signed Orban Elliott, and even the past year, like Jack Marshman comes in now and then as well. And just to have them guys rubbing shoulders, you can actually see on the amateur fighters' faces when them guys come in thinking that's where they want to be. And there's a great stable of fighters, an absolutely fantastic stable of fighters here. And I think the plan is to keep going until we get everybody where they want to go. It might not necessarily be the UFC, it might be PFL, it might be Bellator, it might be so on and so forth, you know. But we have a lot of fighters there, and that's their ambition, is to reach the top of the game.
Yeah, I'm over the moon for Brett to be going to PFL. You know, he's a world level fighter. He doesn't deserve to be fighting on the smaller shows. He deserves an opportunity to be on the big show, you know. And he's pretty much completed like the trifecta. He's UFC, Bellator and PFL. I think he's the first Welsh fighter to fight on all 3. And massive opportunity for him. He's been out of the ring, at the cage, for a little bit. And it'd be great to see him back on a big stage, you know, putting on a big performance like I think he will, and hopefully it leads to bigger and better things. You know, hopefully him maybe going into the PFL tournament or signing a big deal contract with them would be great for him. Yeah, his opponent's very good. You know, I fought him a long time ago. He was 6-7 years ago, so I mean, I don't think we can take too much from that. You know, since then he's gone on a good day. He's on a bit of a win streak. He hasn't been finished since I fought him. He's a tough, durable guy. I just think, I genuinely believe Brett is top 5, top 10 in the world at featherweight or bantamweight. So I don't think it really matters what opponent you put him in there with. I think if he turns up and fights the opponent how he fights me in the gym, he's going to cause problems for anyone. You know, the kid's tough, but I just don't think that'll be enough on the night. I think he's superior in any area, and you know, he's buzzing for this. Like, he's been waiting 12 months to fight, and unfortunately for his opponent, I think he's going to be the one that he ultimately ends up taking it out on in December.
Last kick in from Jack Shaw. Keep humble.
He meant to say he was fucking kicking tanks ass. That's what he meant to say. We all seen the footage.
Just make sure you get my best bits in, that's all.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest, this year has been very frustrating, very stressful on the whole fighting front, but I'd say a lot of it's personal as well, you know. Me and my wife had some unfortunate news with an unexpected baby, which, you know, like, thankfully we're getting over slowly. That was a massive hit to us. The only thing that really kept me on the straight and narrow was training and being in the gym alongside the guys, as well as trying to stay there for the wife. But training definitely kept me focused. Going back a few years ago, maybe I would have done something completely different, would have been on the booze and stuff, but I'm a mature fighter now. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I know what I need to deal with, really, and I know how to deal with them emotions through training. So yeah, going back to July, we just unfortunately had the news that, you know, Bellator didn't really. I think they had a feeling that the PFL deal was going through, so they weren't signing a lot of fighters. And that's when I got in touch with Dan Hardy. And look, on a personal level, you know, you're a guy my age growing up through through the MMA scene. Dan Hardy was an idol of yours if you were a British fighter growing up, and the guy's been in there with the very best. You know, I remember watching him years ago, UFC 99 in Cologne, Germany, where he fought Marcus Davis. You know, I'm a massive fan of Dan Hardy. So to be talking to him as like a sort of promoter, a fighter, it's technically a dream come true for me, you know. So when Dan said they were interested in having me over in PFL, it was generally a no-brainer. You know, having someone like that who's willing to push you and put you in the right direction was a no-brainer. PFL are making some big noise in the world of MMA, and look, I want to be a part of it. Very selfishly, I want to be a part of it, and not just a small part. You know, I see myself being successful in that in the PFL roster. You know, this fight's slightly different. It's that featherweight. You know, we've had some changes in camp. Unfortunately, the last few years I've been picking up a couple of staph infections, which I put down to sort of my my immune system. Maybe cutting the bantamweight was a bit too tough, so we're going to trial out the featherweight. We've got a tough featherweight fight. We didn't expect anything easy anyway. That's the fight we wanted, and yeah, December the 8th, Dublin, PFL Europe. You know, there's grand tournaments on as well. I'm buzzing, man. I'm buzzing for this opportunity.
I mean, honestly, I think this is the most eager I've seen him to get in there and compete. He's been out 12, 13 months through no real fault of his own, just through sort of a lack of opportunity and fights falling through. So I think it's put things into perspective for him, you know, that he wants to be active and he's been willing to be active, but when that kind of gets taken away from you, you know, it sucks for him. And the fact now that he's got this big opportunity, and he knows if he goes out there and puts on a hell of a performance, it'll lead to big things. But he also knows if he doesn't go out there and perform, it can mean he's back in the same rut he's been in the last 12 months. So I think that little bit of added pressure and that the heightened circumstances will only mean that you're going to see the best Brett Johns we've seen for the last 2-3 years, in my opinion.
PFL is a great move for me, and I love the format of the whole promotion. That's where I've been watching for a very long time. And don't get me wrong, I've had to change a few things up in my fighting style. I felt like my fighting style, certain elements of my fighting style didn't cross over very well. We've changed that up, and I like the fact it's keeping me on my toes. You know, this game is all about evolution, changing and becoming a better fighter. And thanks to signing with PFL, I'm working on different aspects of the game, which is making me a better fighter. It's the right move right now, and I'm ready to shock the world. You know, I won a world title with Cage Warriors, very much like Dan Hardy. I won a world title with a promotion called Titan FC. You can never get used to getting gold belts wrapped around your waist. And yeah, okay, the $1 million is a good incentive, but I'm still in this game to become one of the best fighters in the world. You know, I've been very privileged and honoured to fight for some of the greatest promotions. There isn't many fighters who have done the things that I've done, and I want PFL to be in that list. And I see it being a really good home. But I'd be lying if I said, you know, the $1 million, you know, does get my attention. But more than that, I think it's becoming a world champion. Look at the likes of Brendan Loughnane going in that tournament and smashing it. Massive fan of Brendan, and he's leading the way for British fighters in PFL, and I want to follow in them footsteps.
You know, for the last 12 months he's been in a little bit of limbo. He was supposed to fight in April, come down with a really bad staph infection. I felt it was a bit naughty what Bellator done then. You know, in the June they released him. The current climate's tough, isn't it? You know what I mean? Trying to find organisations, but I've got a good relationship with Dan Hardy. I've been speaking to Dan for quite a few months now. They expressed an interest, and perfect storm really for him to finish off the year, December. Dublin, not a million miles away, you know, our flight, so we haven't got jet lag and getting out there 10 days early. We've been to Dublin several times, nice, comfortable, you know, place for us. We're familiar with it, familiar with the venue, familiar with the area, and I think it's a brilliant opportunity. You know, we've had a look at the lad. He's fought Jack Shore from the gym, but you know, that was bloody 5 years ago, I think, 6 years ago. We've had a look at him. He's a totally different kettle of fish now, but for me, I think Brett's top 10 in the world in any organisation, so we're confident at 145 or 135, whatever. I like to think it's not just like coaching a fighter. We got a bit of a father-son type of relationship as well. Always respectful. You know, he's the most talented boy in the room, but he's the hardest working. You know, if I pick him up on something, if I speak to him, he's coachable. A lot of guys at his level are not coachable. He's very, very coachable. Always wanting to learn, always trying to improve. I think as a coach fighter, I think we've got the perfect relationship. He's got a lot of trust in me. I got a lot of trust in him, which always works. And the thing is with Brett, I know he's going to give me 100% on the day, so there's never any anxiety about, oh, is he going to turn up? He will always turn up. If he doesn't get the result, there's never a complaint off me, because it's not for lack of effort in the gym. So, you know, as far as relationship goes, you know, I love him to death. He's not just a fighter, he's somebody I'm really, really close with, and I just want him to do so well. I think he personifies what a martial artist is about. There's no shit talk with him, there's no bravado. Turns up, works hard, trains, respectful to his opponent, respectful before the fight, after the fight. You know, he's a personification of what a martial artist is in my eyes.
Yeah, David Kroll, my opponent on December the 8th, is a very, very tough test. You know, on the rankings, I think he's #1 in Western Europe, 11-7. You know, the record really doesn't do him justice. You know, 6 of them 7 losses were split decision and decision losses. You know, we had one of our teammates, Jack Shore, get the stoppage against him really early on in his career. I'm expecting a tough fight. I'm not going in there thinking this is going to be a walk in the park, because it's certainly not going to be. We haven't underestimated him. In fact, I'd say, you know, at this stage, I'm very nervous and very tense, but I know full well this is what I need to be feeling to perform in there on December the 8th. Can't wait, man, can't wait. Yeah, you know, being a Welsh fighter and being one of the first ones, you know, through the door, it's huge for me. I think, realistically, years ago, I never thought I'd be in this position. So if the whole dream finished right now, I'd be happy. You know, the first Welsh guy to step foot on the UFC canvas and fight, going over to Bellator and being the first ever Welsh guy ranked in Bellator, and then now going over to PFL. You know, UFC, Bellator and PFL are some of the major promotions in the world. And after December the 8th, I'd be very lucky to say I fought in all 3. It's a dream come true. You know, to put my name in any history books is a great honour and a great deal to me. I'm just thankful. It's been one hell of a roller coaster so far. And I'm still 31 years old, so that's not me trying to make out as if I haven't got long left. I've got plenty of time left, and I'm here to make some serious noise.